to do it, I'm not sure. But she's awakened now, and she's laughing, so that's cool. So anyway, today we'll be going through, I look at people like Yogananda. How many of you know about Yogananda? Okay. Okay, if you don't, it's okay. In 1952, he made his transition. But he kind of told us what this means to be in an awakened state. Just a few days before he died, he said this, and I'm not a good quoter of the scripture or other things, but I can say it said something like this: "You must be so drunk with the love of God that you know nothing else." Isn't that interesting? I got me so drunk with the love of God. How many of you have ever been drunk? Don't you have to? No. I've been there, I'll tell you. Yeah, I was coming back. Oh, no, I don't want to get into that. I was a kid then. I was like 19, 20, 21 years old. I had to go to a Moscone. How many of you knew about Moscone? He was the mayor of San Francisco. They invited me, I'm a young kid, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, to a wine and cheese tasting in San Francisco. So I'm driving back. I wasn't drunk, but the cop thought I was. So I drove past his car. It was a state patrolman, and I cut him off. He pulls me over, and he says, "I think you're drunk." I said, "I can't be drunk." And he says, "Why can't you be drunk?" "Because I'm a teacher. If I were drunk, they'd fire me." Well, the universe supported me then, because what he did, his wife was a teacher, and he said, "You follow me into Oakland. I'm going to take you to a hotel, and you're going to spend some money. You're going to spend a day and a night in the hotel. You get your windows down." And I really wasn't that inebriated. But anyway, why did I get on that tangent? I'm sorry to say. We need to be so drunk with the love of God that we know nothing else. Wow. And they have that story about the monk who he had a student, and the student, they were by a stream, and he takes the student and holds his head underwater. And you all heard the story probably. And almost drowned the guy and pulled him up. And the student said, "Why did you try to kill me, drown me?" The monk said, "When you need this divine energy in your life as much as you needed this breath, then you are awakened." Isn't that cool? That's what this is all about. So what is it that we're going to be releasing? The first step, and we'll go through this fairly rapidly. What do we need to release? What is? And I wrote stuff down, and I don't know what I said. Who needs it anyway? We need to release the idea that we have to solve all of our problems. What the hell does that mean? It means that when I'm stuck with something, do I let the thing overwhelm me, create disaster in my life, emotionally destroy me? And Deepak Chopra says, and I love this book, Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. You're getting sick, I hear about him. But anyway, what he's saying is that our biochemistry of the body is a direct relationship to our awareness. Am I going to destroy myself over this stupid thing? What do I need to release? I need to know that I'm not alone in this world. That I am the son or daughter of the CEO of the universe, for goodness sakes. And so there's nothing that can take control over me. That I'm in charge. And I'm not going to let this situation bother me. So what I do, we need to release our attachment to what's going on. Can we do that? We release it. We do a lot of counseling. And I'm paired before counselors as well, because I get into that. And by and large, the one major thing that we need to think about is, why am I so distressed over something that I created? What do you mean? I didn't create this. Yes, I did. I created it. Because what the effect are in the universe, all these things out there, we created. Because we are one mind, we are the oversoul, as Emerson said, that we are the creator of the effects. And when we get upset over an effect like the checkbook, the economy, I don't want to call them idiots, the people in government and those things. When we get upset about those are effects. There are creations. Why do we allow our creations to take control over us and to destroy us emotionally and physically? You see? So we need to release that idea that everything we experience is bad. And how many of you know about Rico Enrico? He said that out of the darkness comes the light. That when there's darkness, that's where spirit relaxes. And that's where spirit incubates ideas. He said, in the darkness of the womb, a human being is conceived. In the darkness of the soil, the seed is germinated and grows. In the darkness of our mind, ideas flow. So what do we release? We release our tendency to label things as either good or bad. It's all good. So we release that. So there's a lot to release, and I could go on to release. It's actually a seminar, which we probably should do someday if I wasn't so lazy. Anyway, Conrad Hilton can be a mentor for us. Conrad Hilton, you may not know this, a billionaire, lost it all during the Depression. Are you aware of this? He lost his hotel, he lost his laundry, he lost everything that he owned. In fact, there's one day where he had to borrow from a bellhop to eat his lunch. Can you believe that? Mm-hmm. And so the darkness, and he's our mentor today, the darkness on this man. Now, we've never been to the billionaire status, but it's the same as the rest of us who may lose their car or a relationship doesn't develop. It's the same kind of thing. It's all relative. But what he did was he didn't put in mind that I'm a failure, that I'm no good, that I need to jump off a bridge. No, what he did was he was going through a magazine and he saw an article about the Waldorf Hotel. He looked at this article. My God, the Waldorf Hotel, it has 6 kitchens, 200 chefs, 500 waiters, and a private hospital. And in its basement is this track to connect with the railroad companies. He took that, he clipped it out. Now what is he doing? Well, he's not a new thoughter, but he did. He was doing new thought. He took this idea, rolled across the top, the best of it all. And he folded up and put it in his wallet, and he made the decision. He says, when I can afford a desk, I'm going to put it under the glass of my desk and look at it all the time, which he eventually did. Now here's what's the magnificent about this awakened consciousness. He released, didn't he? He released it, didn't he? And he created wisdom, we'll talk about that, and he was celebrating. He was doing the 3 steps. And what he did was turn it over and released it to spirit. It was there. And what happened? We all know about the law of attraction. The law of attraction started working in his life, and over a period of time, all the circumstances and conditions necessary for him to purchase the Waldorf Hotel in 1949 happened. Now that's on a larger scale, but put it down to our, I don't want to say our level, to our experiences and our consciousness. There's nothing we can't do when we are at that awakened conscious state. Because we're related to and we are one with the CEO of the universe itself. And so what we need to do is get our conditioned mind out of the way, and we allow the Spirit to work in our life. I like to put the handle of that, radical reliance on Spirit. Can we say that? Radical reliance. Radical reliance on Spirit. You know? And so when we see, okay, so let's go into, we've talked about release. Let's go into wisdom. What is wisdom? Bob Hand, he did a nice job. How many of you were here last week? Bob Hand, I love the guy because you sit there and you wonder, what is he really saying? And then it germinates in your consciousness over the week, and then you finally realize, oh, this is what he meant, you see? And we all go through that. Well, he opened the door in wisdom. What is wisdom? Do we know? How many of you know what wisdom is? It's our ability, it's a gifted. It's gifted to us as spiritual beings occupying bodies. We are gifted with the idea that we can discern. Wow. And we can decide what's good or what's not so good, or what enhances my life and what doesn't enhance my life. That's what wisdom is all about. So wisdom, release wisdom. We have to think smart. And we need to look at our life experiences. I like to tell people to go on a 7-day mental diet, which I love doing. I do it myself. And because we don't realize that we're putting crap into the mix, that's going to produce more crap. It's our thinking process. And so Jack Gower, you all remember Jack? Jack Gower, during one of my Tuesday things, challenged me because I said we do that. We're not even aware of how we're thinking our real life through. And he said, that's nonsense. I'm positive. I said, okay, I challenge you. For the next week, I want you to do a little check mark as to every time you have a negative thought. Would you do that for me? He said, yeah, I'll be happy to. Well, the following Tuesday he shows up, kind of bleak. He said, I couldn't believe it. I had 249 negative thoughts in 1 week. Isn't that interesting? So we need to be very aware of where we are when it comes to wisdom. Discerning what I should be doing, thinking, and deciding. And so that's not an easy task for any of us to do. And so when we do it and we're in good shape, that's the last one, and then we'll wind it down, is celebration. Celebration is not a one-time, only one day a year thing. That's not what celebration is all about. Celebration is moment by moment, shouting it out, living it, letting the universe know how grateful I am for this moment. And how many of us ever celebrated the idea that we woke up and we're still breathing? We need to celebrate that. You know, and if we get into a situation that we feel sorry for ourselves, we need to celebrate that which we've been gifted with. The idea, if you put Marie Lane, for example, Marie Lane has to struggle for every breath that she takes. And she blesses every breath that she takes. We need to bless the fact that we are here and thinking, and there's nothing that can hurt us in any way because we're spiritual beings occupying bodies. So what we need to do is celebrate that. We need to celebrate the fact, and this is kind of neat, that we put in mind something that we would like to manifest that hasn't appeared yet. I always tell my students, always thank the universe for that which it hadn't done yet. Give it thanks. And I practice this on Stella, and she does it on me too. Thank you, Angela, for carrying out the garbage.
That's a Jedi mind.
I haven't carried out the garbage yet. Thank you for carrying it out. Well, we have to do the same thing when we dialogue with Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for this awesome relationship that's manifesting in my life. Thank you. And I celebrate it. I'm going to close with a little story that's it's lighthearted. It's just, I know we've been too sober today, so we'll just get lighthearted here. This preacher is in a country preacher, and he goes to this farmer, and the farmer's working out in front of his house on some equipment, and the farmer looks at him and says, Reverend, I don't think I can handle your do-good, positive attitude today. I just can't handle it. And the minister said, well, why not? Martha and I have had the worst time that we've ever had in 40 years because of the drought. And this last 5 years has been so bad that we had to mortgage our farm. Yes, but during these challenging times, we need to keep the faith and know that the universe supports us. Oh, wow. My crops are all dead and dying. I prayed that like you told me to do, to pray, and this is what's happening. He said, why do I even listen to you? Here you are, you're not in reality. Here you are not understanding anything that's going on, and you're standing there in 105-degree weather with rubber coats on, sweat pouring down your brow, and what's that all about? That's just simply crazy. And the minister said this is the key. This wraps up the whole talk that I'm giving you. He said, I put in mind that we'd have rain. I released the drought. I'm celebrating at this moment the rain that's forthcoming. That's what this is all about. Isn't that cool? So maybe we need to put our galoshes on and say, yeah, I celebrate the awesome person that I am. I'm a magnificent son and daughter of the CEO of the universe, and I've got what we call the awakened, what? Awakened consciousness. And so it is. That's it. All right.